Good evening. Good evening. How is everybody doing? Welcome to Metamorphosis by Black Trans Men of Ohio. Tonight we're going to have our special guest back, Dr. Liam Johnson. He's coming back this evening to tell us a little bit more about his upcoming app, touching on our bodies as Black trans masculine individuals. Under this umbrella tonight. So we're going to open up the table to give him our platform to go ahead and speak on it. And of course, we're going to have our questions that we're going to probably toss his way as he goes through everything. But again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Dr. Liam, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks, like Chris said, thanks for tuning in. I am Dr. Liam Johnson, the CEO and creator of Hello Me. TGNC Digital R&R basically is research and resources. That's what the R&R stands for. I opened it up to TGNC because as a doctor and epidemiologist, and a trans person, I feel like there should be resources for all. And having access to the community in a different way where information can be collected through trust, that's an advantage. So I decided to explore different avenues, and it's been working very well so far. I'm really pumped to continue doing that. Our mission and purpose altered just a little bit with the change from the focus. The original mission and purpose was strictly geared towards top surgery. Now it's overall just about the community in general and making sure that we have accurate, culturally and gender specific information that is geared for us and can help us throughout our transitions. And this information, not just opinions, but real, true medical information that can actually help you live longer, live better, stay healthy. And in addition to that, from doing the research that we do, which is called participatory design, and I'll explain what that is, we do a complete community controlled type of research where it's, all community. I mean, from the camera people to the questioning people to the people involved, and everyone gets paid. Everyone, it's geared up to be, it's strategically set up to be a healing experience as well as a learning experience with the questions that we ask. That's why it has to be such a trustful situation, because the questions do dive deep, and it might open up areas where, you haven't thought about in a little bit, but sitting in a circle with people that understand your journey and you don't have to censor or explain your words. I've found that in doing this work, that's only made people open up that much more. And then the conversations and the critical thinking leaves the room and it continues out into our community, which is what we need. Now, from that, we create educational prototypes, which basically, or EDPs, which basically is informational stuff like the website and the app for Hello Me Top Surgery. I did a study for 7 years with transgender men, and that's all covered in the website, and it's covered in several presentations I've done. And same kind of thing, participatory design activities, and it really resulted in a beautiful thing being built. And some of these guys that I worked with were still in contact. They're in contact with one another. They've went on out into community and done their own thing. They have a lot more confidence, I've seen, and they're able to teach other people the things that they learned. And that's what this is about. Imagine with you all, for example, imagine the things that you do and the talks that you have, and being able to walk away from that. And then you can say to your people, okay, in 2 weeks, we're going to email all of you a link to this educational prototype. And it doesn't have to be called an educational prototype. It can be called like whatever your event was. Imagine being able to leave everyone with that. And then they go back and they actually have something where they can say, okay, I'm refreshing, and I can show someone I have fact. I don't have to go to social outlets where, 70% of the information is either misdis or not the right stuff. And it's definitely not catered to each individual. I mean, we are in groups, and we're at a point where it's nasty to say that you're different from me. There's nothing wrong with that. But once we sit down in these groups, for example, even in community, we could have a setup of people who are of different gender identities, asking questions that are designed where we learn from one another. Then you have something to teach with. So people aren't just walking around, because for some reason people won't say, how do you identify? I don't know any other way to make someone really be seen than to say, how do you identify? Not assuming from anything other than to say, and this is something that I teach in DEI to cis folks, because a lot of cis professionals will say, well, I just don't know what to say. I just don't, yeah, you guys can put up the mission and purpose. I just don't know what to say. And the best thing you can do is, ask, how do you identify? That's one of the things we cover. And then we ask the question of, well, why don't you feel comfortable being a trans person asking? Most of the answers that come back lead back to social media, because that's the home base for everything now. And it's very toxic, and it's very ineffective in helping. And these events that we do as nonprofits, they're awesome, but what comes out of them after the month is over, Pride Month, or TDOR, you know what I mean? What tangible goods are people left with? So that leads me into updates with Hello Me. If you could throw up a picture of, yeah. So the app is coming, but it's not something that I'm doing immediately. And that's only because the app is an extremely complicated UX UI build. That just means it's really detailed. And the UX UI, they do a dance. You got one that's like the male that leads, and the other, the masculine that leads, and the other is the feminine. Well, if one's too complicated for the other, it's going to cost a lot, because you have to morph them into, you have to make them transition. You have to morph them into one. So that costs a lot. That means that I would have to charge you guys. That's not my goal. My goal is for you to have it for free. If I charge you, and let's say you're getting everything you need, and then you don't have $20 for 1 month, and you're locked out of it, that's the dumbest shit ever for something that you really need. So I started with a website. The website address is www.hellomeapplication.com. Hello Me application is all one word. Say it with me now. www.hellomeapplication.com. Right now, there are 3 pages open. The reason why there are 3 pages open is because I am building this myself. Yes, I can do that. You learn to do things when people won't help you. And that's something that we also talk about in some of the stuff that we're doing. We also do a lot of teaching, so you can learn how to do your own stuff, so you can become self-sufficient, build self-efficacy, confidence. Anyway, these are some of the features that are on the website, all of them actually. Some I'm adding. It's all very good information. There's some videos as well. There'll be lots of programs linked. That's what people keep asking me about the most. Stop. Because if you're going to ask me for something for free and you ain't going to do it to pay for it, you might not do it when you get it. The program doesn't jump off the page and you have to do the work. And if you're asking me for something and you haven't subscribed to the website, because I can see, like, I really do get paid to do this. So why would I, you know what I mean? Like, let's take advantage of what we're being given. I'm picking 6 folks every 3 weeks. Right now, I have 6 guys that are trans mass that are doing muscular building. I have 4 for weight loss. I'm going to be picking 6 non-binary folks for sculpting, not necessarily for masculinity, but for sculpting and flexibility. I'm going to be doing 6 folks that are bigger, like bigger than, my thick brothers that really need to get their health under control, as well as prepare themselves to be able to be considered for surgery. So their hopes can be, or if you can't have surgery, let's get them things down. The bells ain't got the jingle. We can fix it. And also going to be doing 6 folks that are terminally ill in our community, and showing them how to heal and live, stay healthy, things that your doctor doesn't really care to tell you. So that's the website. Please drop the picture of the homepage. Well, that's under the picture of the homepage, but that's exactly what it is. Okay, there we go. That's the homepage right there. Join for free. There's no gimmicks, no catches. You won't be sold anything. I don't do that. I'm not trying to sell to the community. I've never advertised to the community. That's not my angle. I really want you guys to take advantage of this stuff. Excuse me. Current work that Hello Me's doing is that with the six. It's going really well so far, man. I can't wait to show some of these. Man, the brothers are. Y'all got me pumped. Like, I love working with brothers and family, and that means that's everybody, non-binary to whoever. So don't get all weird. Because when someone shows they believe in you after being beat down so much, and someone's like having a coach that's got your back and they understand, when you might have a bad day, and everybody doesn't understand our bad days, you know what I mean? And then having somebody that can walk you through it, you know what I'm saying, and really pump you up, or somebody that needs to pick you up if you're not ready to do it. Like, look, man, it's leg day. Do you want a girl ass or a boy ass? Some people would be offended by that. Whenever you got a coach that's like, we're on the same level, it's like, I'm going to do legs. Same thing for anybody else. My non-binary folks, it's always a reminder that, you're only trying to stay healthy here. You know what I'm saying? You might sculpt a little bit, but you got to stay healthy. Health means good, strong hips. That means having a strong upper back so that you can stay upright. That means that, you too have to do legs so that you can, continue to function by yourself. And getting a lot of reception on the website. I will say that. There's been over 1,000 folks to visit, very few to subscribe. And the visits are coming with, I know what the visits are coming for. But there's always something with Dr. Liam, man. I give stuff for free all the time. I reach out to people all the time. I'm like, hey, here, let me help you out with this. And it's because, there are people that are genuinely in this because they want to be better and they want to feel good about themselves and their body, and they're going to do it. And those are the people that I look for, and those are the people I choose. Why am I going to choose you if you're not taking your life seriously now? I'm not, Dr. Liam ain't going to change that. You have to, and what comes along with the training is we journal. We do the shadow work journal. We're going to start having some Dear Black Men groups, which is awesome. It's dope. And that's not just for folks that are training. That's going to be for my Black trans brothers. And I'm talking all spectrum. The Dear Black Man group is going to be kind of like the PD work, but we have a workbook that everybody will have. We all, follow the same thing. We sit and talk about it, chop it up from our point of view, walk away, and hopefully feel better as we go, and we can heal together. You know what I mean? Learn from each other. That's the goal with the social side of the app. I'm not really here. I'm not a be your friend kind of guy. I'm 45. I have all the friends I need. I'm not here to be buddies with anyone, but I absolutely want to make sure my community moves into the future very healthy, because I'm around medical people that you guys aren't around. You don't get to hear, no one knows. I mean, I'm stealth, obviously, and then I have to beat them up and tell them and make them believe me. So I get to hear things that other people don't get to hear, and no one cares. Legit. Which leads me into my next topic, which is Black trans men, and HIV, which is the next thing that I'm going to be really focusing on hardcore, doing a lot of work there. The title of my epidemiological journal that I'll be writing for it is Black trans identified men and HIV, and the missing links is in quotations. An epidemiological focused look into the lack of research, accurate information, gender and culturally specific care for Black trans identified men living with AIDS and HIV, and how not having either access to or the existence of these vital resources is perpetuating and prolonging sickness in this special population. Long ass title, but covers everything. That's usually how journal titles go. Basically, it's going to hit everything, man, from stats and facts like, Black trans men are 3 times more likely to contract HIV because of, the biological body. Our bodies are much more susceptible to disease, and our lifestyles are different. And we are the least looked at out of everyone. White trans men, 78% have access to drugs, 11% of Black trans men. 52% of Black trans men either don't report or underreport fear because of the pressures in our community for masculinity. Black trans men don't have access to the real medication they need because most doesn't interact well with HRT. Can't take PrEP, the new PrEP. Stuff you can take, AZT, it busts your immune system to pieces, and then HRT does too. Let's say you're not living your best life. You're only killing yourself by taking your meds and your HRT. And then if you don't take your HRT consistently, that is a whole nother story. So there's a lot that, you're not going to find. And I love it when people say, well, I can Google, put FTM in front of Google. FTM, and then write whatever it is you're looking for. And I guarantee you won't find anything.
Now, I have a quick question for you, real quick.
Sure.
Just for clarification, you were saying that for when it comes to HIV for the PrEP. Now, are you talking about the PrEP that's for female bodies, persons, or
no? I'm talking about PrEP that's for male bodies. That's not available to FTMs. PrEP that'll keep you undetectable.
Okay. So
we can't take that.
Okay, but
so there's no option to be undetectable unless you live your life a certain way. And I'm currently working with Black trans men right now. I have 6 that I'm working with specifically. And we're finding out that healthy lifestyle is the best way for us to go. A high collagen diet, vitamins A, K, and D, liquid vitamins rather than capsule. Capsules are soy-based. Capsules have a lot of placebo. Placebo affects your testosterone, messes with your hormones. Your endocrine system goes in haywire and screws with your T-cell count, which is what prevents you from getting sick. So, those are things that need to be talked about, and they can't be talked about by people that don't research the topic, but don't know, and you have a lot of men that are awesome and they're explaining their journey, but there's a lot that they could learn from medical stuff as well. And that's why we need these prototypes. That's why we need these. And I'm making this one will be done, and it'll have the stats and facts, needs of Black trans identified men, hormones and medication facts and effects, how specific meds interact with T, the results of infrequent shots, how FTM identified men living with HIV and AIDS should be eating to stay healthy and why it's so different, what makes the FTM body so unique when it comes to treatment and monitoring care, the do's and don'ts, just specific tips, reporting and risk for Black trans men, research findings and quotes, which anytime you're doing research, academic justification is the best way to shut up anyone in a professional setting. Because when you have academic justification, which has been done with by our colleagues, what can you say? The Kaiser journals have nothing about Black trans men and HIV, nothing. These are the medical journals that all med students are required to basically memorize and eat to survive. To survive. Yeah, to survive, to graduate. To survive. Benefits of the PD work. Reporting and risks for Black trans men compared specifically to all other T men. Black trans men actually contract HIV more than Black trans women, but have been overlooked. We are being treated literally like it's 1981, comparatively speaking. Yep. So our solution obviously is PD work, and it's called a community co-design for health. And the co-design and community part comes in where I told you it's community run. And that's where our underreporting is coming in, is white. I hate to say white, but it is it's the moral majority. You don't feel comfortable sitting down and telling these people your business for fear of judgment. The settings need to be different. The questions need to be different. The empathy needs to be different. The compassion needs to be different. And it needs to be done by community. Same thing for Black people. Same thing for women with special issues. Special populations. That's what epidemiologists focus on. And you have to break the formulas, literally break it out in a way where it's broken down from race, it's broken down from sex, it's broken down, and there's no, we're not getting any global attention, we're not getting local and mid-level either. So um, with the PD research, the benefits will also be listed in providers and healthcare workers can also be added into some of these groups to educate them, adding them into the groups with the people that are actually there that don't feel like that know they won't be gaslit or cut off. You can actually get things off your chest and say, this is what I need, this is what I get. This is why I won't tell you X, Y, and Z. Because the biggest question from all the corporations is, why can't we break into the community? Duh. What do you mean? You're sitting Chip. What the hell? He don't know my plight.
Yeah.
Real stuff. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
But the PD work will then create educational material. Kind of like the website, and it could be housed anywhere. It could be housed on AU's website, housed on Gilead's website, housed. All of these companies can take advantage of these resources, and they can say, "Oh, well, we don't know, but we have a resource on our website that addresses Black trans men specifically." You know what I mean?
Now, real quick. So yesterday you spoke about Gilead, and I remember the conversation I had with somebody that works for Gilead. They were saying that they're coming out with something. I don't know if you heard of it. It's supposed to be some type of like shot that's supposed to be something for everybody, all body types. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, and I go back to what I said to you before. Are they researching the biological female body, the processes that we go through in transitioning? Are you going to look at how far along your patient is with their testosterone uptake? Are you going to test their estrogen levels to see if that's going to affect anything? Like, I have a lot of questions. You know what I mean? I don't ever believe anything in medicine when it comes out and says we got the thing, because usually the better it is, the side effects are hella. Look at Adipex. You still got people shitting on themselves. Basically gave people dysentery. I mean, and now Ozempic. People are melting. Look at the folks that take Ozempic.
That's not.
It's a oh. Stop. And it's because of a lack. If you take 160 people in your research, that's great. But am I one of those 160? Do we have the same makeup? How's my lifestyle? Is my lifestyle like that 160 or? And then we have to think about the fact that most of our communities that need these easily accessible drugs are not the most economically sound. So how are you, or do you have the capability to foster this drug in your body? Can you eat on this level? Can you afford it? Are you stressed out? Your cortisol level alone will kill you, not being HIV positive. Cortisol is what keeps you fat, lazy. And when I say fat, lazy, I don't mean like fat, lazy, big people. I mean like when you feel like pure T shit and it's like, I don't want to do anything to eat nasty food. I want to sleep. It's usually when something bad is going on, or your shot cycle might be off, or you're super stressed out. Even if you're going to the gym, you're going to work, that has nothing to do with it. You feel that way, period. You can't stay on your meal plans, cortisol. But the minute you feel better, everything falls in line. Cortisol controls your endocrine system. We are run by our hormones. And our process is much more complicated. All because we have to house them damn skin critters. India. I love kids. I was kidding. I do. I love kids. I got boys.
Yeah, they be skin critters.
They are skin critters, man. They'll steal your life.
Lovable skin critters.
and to
Yes.
watch them.
I haven't heard skin critters before, but I've heard different ones.
I mean, fur babies, skin critters, same thing.
No.
A kid's a kid. But yeah, the urgency, even for we're also about to start moving into not quite as heavy, but a little bit of education on the reproductive community as well. FTM identified men that reproduce. And there is a difference between FTM identified men, trans identified men, non binary identified men, and transsexually identified men. There is a difference. But FTM identified men that have babies are in favor of having babies or have had babies or is in the process of having a baby or does things to have babies on a regular basis. There's stuff you need to know about downstairs and inside. And especially if you're taking testosterone. You don't want your baby to be affected by certain things, and they will be, as well as you. You know, we don't talk about postpartum depression and trans men. We don't talk about that. You see? I wonder how many people just then went, I don't even think I ain't never thought about it. Right. Postpartum depression is crippling. Think about your worst week when you're like, every day you're like, I need my shot. And you'll never take it. But you're like, I need my shot for 3 weeks. And you still won't take it. Triple that by 1 million. And you can't take your shot. And you got breast milk. You're questioning everything in life right now. And if your support system isn't solid as a rock, factor that in. And I make jokes, but that's only because it lands much better. But I take this very seriously. No bullshit. I love every single person in my community under my umbrella. I don't give a damn about being your friend. Probably wouldn't like half of them, but it has nothing to do with the fact that I want you to live the best life you can. We've been through enough. Shit. We go through enough. And it don't get no easier as you pass. Your fight gets harder. So be ready. Question.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Perfect time. Has any of the laws regarding the restrictions that the LGBTQ community and the trans community does that affect the app or any of your programs?
Nope. Not a bit. And I am not attached to an organization. I own my stuff. So, yeah, we're good. We're not administering any kind of direct care as far as sending products or anything like that. We will definitely help you find places and ways to get what you need. But nah, and that's part of the reason why, it's free. It's part of the reason why there's no, everything that's being done, the grants that I've gotten have been gotten under Hello Me and Dr. Liam Johnson. I'm very proud of that. I'm proud to say that, we're standing on business. No, we're standing on our own 2 feet right now, and that makes a big difference. It does, because I have a lot more freedom to do us, y'all. Yeah. I don't, I'm my own man. I can't be boxed in like that. I don't kiss ass, and I took the Myers-Briggs. I got like a 23% faking thing. The Myers-Briggs tells you, how you can play 23%. Nothing. I can fake the high sometimes, and that's about it. I'm here for my people. I could care less about, I won't do panels during Pride Month. I'm not going to pose for anything during T-Door, because let's do it next Tuesday. Same problem's going to be here. Let's do it every month. Let's do something for health. Maybe I'm asking too much. I don't care. Maybe I am. I don't
No, I'm not asking too much. I'm there too. Just I was having a conversation about kind of like something you was talking about earlier about how all these companies, pay in on Pride Month, and then what about the month after, the month before?
You don't hear nothing.
Yeah. And
July
then
comes, it's crickets.
and
You
then
can't
where's
get in contact with nobody. Won't nobody email you back.
and then where all the money go? Then where's the rest of their money go to after that too? So yeah, yeah.
We know a lot of these folks don't have our best interest at heart to begin with, and a
As
lot
long as they're giving to something.
of
Mm-hmm.
they're using it as a marketing ploy. So I very much hate when I go into Target and other places and I see all the rainbows and Pride this and Pride. I'm like, it's Pride all year long. Like that's also why I don't really, no disrespect to Black History Month, but I'm Black all year. You know what I mean? Like
I feel
so.
the same way.
I think these conversations are not only. It's just weird that we have to have things like DEI and to teach people how to treat people. It's just wild that we're not having actual conversations with one another and just respecting each other as human beings. Which kind of leads me into my question, Doc. I am wondering, like, um, with just who you are and what you're doing, which is an amazing thing in the community. I know that you are creating a space for us. How does it feel to you trying to hold your counterparts accountable around this? Because you can't do it all by yourself.
Man, listen, it's let's just say during this process, I've lost a lot of contact with a lot of people.
Right, right.
I'm the type where I love to be real, so I would love to say out loud, but I won't, just out of respect for men of Morpheus. On the strength for y'all, I won't say anything, but I've lost contact with a lot of people. And I presented this idea to several people that are very big in the community back in 2018, and asked for guidance. I didn't present it like, oh, I'm Dr. Liam. And I wasn't Dr. Liam then, first of all. I asked for guidance as to where I should go with this. Could I work with you guys with this? Oh, you got something there for sure. But I ain't hear nothing from them. Oh, please believe the minute that I did some shit, those were the first people I was like, hey, you remember this? I did that on purpose. I'm a Leo to my heart. Petty LaBelle, for real.
Yeah.
I'm going to remind you, I saw it, even if I ain't say nothing. And I usually don't say anything because I got a rabbit in my hat. You feel me? Yeah. I've had to dig for everything I've ever gotten. Dr. Liam did not come easy. I grew up rich. My parents are not even want to be white.
Right.
I had to dig for every bit of everything that I've gotten. And I'll do it for this because my why is different. My why isn't a grant to sit on a stage to look pretty. My why is the health of my community. So you guys don't have to go through what I went through. My why is 54% of trans teens that are trying to kill themselves now. 44% of us that are dying every year. It's a fucking crisis. That's my why. That's why nothing stops me. That's how I get it all done. Every bit of it. Me. I'm about to hire some folks because I got a grant with no strings attached. You know what I mean? Now, when I say that, folks come running and wonder why I don't answer.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I'm some dummy. That's the one thing that pisses me off about our community is people in this community are so used to swindling in life. You try and swindle each other. If I give you something, I'm giving it to you. What's that song? It ain't tricking if you got it. You feel me?
Right.
Like if I come to you and I say, hey man, I want to do something for you. Don't then start loving all my pictures and commenting on everything. And that's not cool. I was about to say something else. That's not cool because you're not fooling me. I don't need you to be my friend. I just gave you something because you need it.
Yeah.
I'm 45. What the hell I want to be? What we gonna do as friends? I'm not finna sit on the phone with you. Hell, I can take a nap if I got time to do that. Shit. You know what I mean? And then like it's just funny, man. Like when I first popped around, people were coming, hey bro, I need this. Hey bro. You don't have to do that. Bro is something that started first of all in the gym with dudes. We started calling each other bro in the gym a long time ago. And it was really some old corny shit like, yeah, bro. yeah, bro. I'm pumped, bro. It makes it out the mainstream and y'all just wears it out in the ugliest ways. You ain't got to call me your bro.
Mm.
You ain't got to think you pulled the wool over my eyes. I see you. I might just be looking like this. Part of you might just be like, I'm tired. I ain't got time for that. I ain't even gonna say that. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I'm gonna take a nap. We need to start valuing each other more in this community. That's why I'm saying that.
Mm.
Because if you have somebody around you that thinks enough of you to do something for you, shut the hell up and take it.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
Because there's enough people out here that don't care about you more than you know.
Mm.
Half the people to be like, yeah, we want you to come speak. Yeah, oh my God, you're so great. Where's she at in August?
Mm.
Just like, it's a crisis for trans women getting killed. Trans men are only 2% behind. Did y'all know that? Black trans men.
Yes.
2%
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
at Black trans women. Do you hear about it?
No.
Brothers get killed all the time.
Mm.
It's okay for us to get misgendered by our community. It's okay to be called toxic because you got a beard and muscles. The hell? Didn't you want big ass and titties? I mean, come on. Hell, this is what we wanted. I'm being dead serious. And see, when you talk like this, people are like, at least I'm being real. At least you can trust me.
Yeah.
Ain't no beating around the bush.
Man, you already know where I'm at with that.
Same.
It's not. And the way my mission is to make it across the board for all. Because my journey was just as fucking hard. Just because I don't show you what I looked like when I was 6 or at my prom, I ain't go to prom. I ain't do none of that. Couldn't nobody make me wear makeup, dresses, none of that. You ask my mom, I took whoopings. I still don't mind. That's why my family, they don't even play with me. They knew. My grandma told me, we knew you wasn't right from the beginning. But you know what I mean? Y'all got to realize it's a different time now than it was when I was out. Y'all got it so easy and take it so for granted. And try to walk all over each other when there are people that are actually here for you. Like, then run behind the people who don't give a damn about you, all because it looks pretty on a Facebook. I mean, I could put my life on Facebook, but for what? I'm grown. I want y'all to know my business. Besides that, it's not a validation tool for me. It's fun. You know what I mean? It's a break in the day.
Should be.
But it's a validation tool for our community. That's why we need these things. Because we are.
Our community, though, is still susceptible to things because even though it's not just in the trans community, we're talking across the board. Like, this generation in general is validated by what they see on social media and how many likes they get. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're black, white, red, green, you know what I'm saying, trans, gay, straight, whatever. Your validation is coming from here, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a different type of access. I grew up on Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah.
I grew up on dial-up. It took 30 minutes to get on the internet. You know what I mean? I still grew up with an internet curfew. I ain't had no phone until I was in, high school, like a senior in high school. And even when I got a phone as a senior in high school, I had to turn my phone in at night. So it was like the level of access that this younger generation is having, it changes the affect and also the thought process around what's real and what's important is what's really what it really drills down to. And I think, oftentimes I get annoyed and I'm like, man, these kids don't be knowing shit. And I say my little shit, but at the same time, it's also still my responsibility to try to continue to instill, and take. And I think in this community, a lot of times we get in these spaces like where we get so caught up in looking like something and not actually being it. And we perpetuate that because so many of us are hurt. So we're finding our validation in these awards and we standing on stages and when really
I get it, but that's
only one doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like
I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so much.
Why I'm super real.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and
I think one of the things that hurt
that
hurt the generation after mine. My generation was the last generation. I was born in '78. Last generation of cell phones, no internet. We were outside. You got locked out in the summertime. My mama locked us out. She put lunch out on the porch. Like we were the ones that drank out the water hose. You got on your bike and had the adventures of a lifetime. Latchkey kids. We had no babysitters, and it wasn't no CPS people that cared. Like we were my generation was the last one. Now, what I can say now about these new kids, the problem to me is we were forced to face our shit because there was nowhere to escape. Like even with drugs and stuff, like it wasn't easy access. You didn't have a phone, hell, the rotary. I mean, there just wasn't easy access like there is now, like you said. But we also have to stop as grown-ups following people that you know are fake for entertainment's sake, or being fake yourself. I had to face my shadow at one point to get here. There was a time where I never would have sat and talked about any of this because being stealth was everything, because I had to have my peace. But give yourself that time if you need that. I needed 17 years to have peace because I transitioned at 19 and I went through hell. So I was like, you know what? I ain't telling nobody shit.
Right.
But I got to a point where it was like, oh man, it just didn't feel right. I felt fake then too. So it's not now that I walk around telling everybody in the world, but it's really not something that I think about. Like, and it's because I've dealt with the stuff I needed to deal with.
Right.
Without putting anybody else into it. Because the only person that I could look at was me.
Right.
That's the problem, is there's always, well, so-and-so hadn't did this wouldn't have happened to me. Okay, well, it happened. So what now? What you gonna do with you now? Yeah. And that's where India's program, that slide deck that I saw, the restorative healing, was breaking. Hold on, what is it? Breaking. I know it was life coaching. I got all your stuff wrote down here. Chime in.
I see you looking for it. That was good. It's breaking generational patterns, and it's patterns within yourself, within the mind, within the mind, the physical body, as far as how you respond to actually respond instead of react, because a reaction is just something instinctual, whereas responding is something that eventually becomes instinctual, but you have to get there through practice, where it just becomes natural, and in the spiritual realm as well.
And even if you are not a reactive type, there is a reaction that happens in the body, no matter what. When you are not settled, you're not settled. The body will always keep the score. That's where your cortisol and all that comes in. So it's worse to hide your feelings. That's why it's best to deal with it. Okay, these are the things I had to break it down to the point where I looked at the relationship with my mother and I had to forgive my mom. And then I took the good stuff that she left me with me. Now our relationship is amazing. And we went through when I tell you we went through hell, if I told you some stories, you wouldn't believe me. Hell. And my mama she ain't no joke. She mean as hell. But the sweetest woman on earth now, and part of that is because I stood on business. I stood on who I was. And I broke ties for 8 years, almost 10. And didn't contact or any of that. I see some people still, so-and-so might misgender me, but I know they don't mean nothing by it. Well, when are you going to start correcting them? Hell, if they can keep doing it, how serious are you? Can you go up to your daddy and say, hey, Dick, what's up? What your dad going to say? What? Think about it like that. Could you walk up to your grandma and be like, what's up, yo, bitch? No. So, grandma, cut it. That's why I used to tell my grandma, I'd be like, grandma, yo, you already know. She said, I know, I'm sorry. Yeah, then we were out in public one day and she did it. And the lady was like, I said, she got dementia. My grandma was mad as hell. She said, I go in that food line every Sunday. I said, well, I go everywhere like this. I said, no, what's your name? In front of the lady. She stopped. She did. Mm-hmm. She accidentally called me one day, long time ago. And she was like, I was trying to call, she named one of our cousins whose name started with my old name's first initial. I said, well, if you change my name in your phone, you wouldn't have a problem with it. How you know? I said, change it right now. Okay, well, hold on. Let me get Tony. You know, I don't know how to do this. I said, Grandma, I'm not playing. If you don't change it, I'm not calling you no more. She changed it. Now, mind you, I was spoiled as a kid by her, but I'm also a grown man. I also take care of her too. I'm there when she needs me. But besides that, I respect and love me. Shit. And I tell my family that. Hell, I gotta be out here in this life, not y'all. Y'all gotta start standing on who you are. Part of Hello Me, yes, is to educate you about your chest. But the biggest part of Hello Me is this: community connection, reaching inside and helping y'all deal with your shadow and then make the best of your shadow. Okay, this is an ugly part of you. Now, what can we do to make it the shit? How can you turn this into your power? Or you walk around being fucked up.
Speaking on that real quick, you had said earlier that you're picking. Is that separate from the body work that you're doing, or is that like when you saying that the shadow work stuff and like what is it?
No, it goes with it too. But there's also going to be the elder circle discussions that will do that. But the shadow work and the Dear Black Men, all of that comes along with the being picked. Like some people that volunteered, I did it on purpose. I said, all right, man, I'm gonna share the document with you and let you know what's going on. One of them hit me back and was like, yeah, it's not gonna be free. You get paid? Oh, I didn't mention that part. Yeah. Probably not like that, but you're gonna get paid. Yep, I'm shooting out some money. And I'm proud of that because an economic boost in our community anywhere, like to be able to show up, do something that's gonna help you heal, and you get to walk away with some ducats in your pocket, like your $100 for an hour of your time. I mean, you know what I mean? If it lasts longer than an hour, we prorate. Look at us. It's electronic payments on time. Same day, maybe. Well, it might take 3 business days. Don't text me, Liam. I ain't get paid, but
it's on the way.
Yeah, but it's definitely gonna be a good thing, man. I'm super excited where Hello Me is going. I am, and I'm excited to work with. I'm gonna work with you all. I'm gonna work with Men of Morpheus. You all are actually one of the first 2 groups that I want to do some PD work with. Really working with some of your individual members, of course. Yeah, I would love to sit in on anything that you do, and if there's any way that I can create a prototype from it where you can have something to give your people, let me know. I'm available for that as a part of Hello Me. So, there are certain organizations that I those things for. So if there's anything like when you guys do the thing with Gilead for your HIV, I'll give you the slide deck that I have that has all of that information, and you can link it on your, you can post it to your website. That way there's info for Black trans men as well. If you want, I mean, if you reject me right here on live, because I'm going to tell you, but so just say yes.
Yeah.
Do you want it?
Yes, we'll take it. Because listen, I've already been talking to you about it. Like I have questions. Like I'm gonna be real. Like I've asked questions. I'm like, do you have specific material for us? Like I understand that you have research. You have all this information, but I'm gonna be honest. I just like you said, I care about my community and us. Like, yeah, I do care about everybody else, but my heart is with us. So if you really don't have much for us,
what's the point? Why would you come talk to us about other people? That pisses me off so much. Whenever there's something that's supposed to be geared toward us, and the whole panel is like trans women and non-binary people, and I'm like, is it so wrong to help us?
mm-hmm.
No.
Is it because society's view of masculine men? I think so, particularly Black masculine men. Well, we are not the ones that hurt y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We got hurt too.
Yeah.
Shit, worse in a lot of cases, because we dwell amongst these men that have hurt you. Sometimes in very unsafe situations that we don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
So real quick, can I take a left?
Empathy or compassion from our community for that. We don't have a space. That's why these things that we will 100%. And I don't feel bad at all about it. From India to Chauncey to if you're brown, black, not POC, because I hate that, because there's stuff for POC. There's plenty of material for Asian bodies, plenty of material for bodies that are global. There's a global movement, Pan-American movement on HIV studies. Crazy. For the trans community. Right here at home, not for us.
You about to say something, Chauncey?
Yes, Chauncey, I'm sorry.
I would no, you was cooking, so I was like, let me get out right quick. You was cooking. I wanted to take a U-turn real quick. We just talked about HIV, and then we were previous to that we were talking about the youth. So I wanted to actually ask a question about: is there any work centered around HIV knowledge for youth, or not youth, but like younger folk?
Like under 18, our teens?
Yeah, like the teens,
Yeah.
the early 20s, and like even talking about, like you said, you're going to talk about if you have certain biological parts, you know what I mean, what type of prevention or safety, you know, the things that you need to be looking for because there's information that's necessary. Can you talk a little bit more about that in regards to keeping yourself safe when engaging? Because it shouldn't be, there's nothing wrong with engaging in whatever sexual activity that you're trying to engage in. The problem is understanding how to keep yourself safe and communicate that with partners and stuff like that. So I want to know if you have information around that.
Yeah, absolutely. The first thing, let me answer with the youth. So for our trans teens and youth, there will be prototypes developed for that group as well. I'm trying my hardest to work with some parents of some kids so that I can get some questions that they might have. If you all have access, and that was something I was going to talk to you guys about, access to youth like in the community, because I saw that there's community work you guys are doing or something like that with the community center, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah,
I'd love to talk further about that. Maybe we can do some PD work via Zoom. I can't pay them as much, but I do have a 14. I can go as low as 14 per the IRB, the federal rules of research. So 14 to say 18, and we can break them down in two groups, or we can do 14, 18. Kids are having sex at 12 now. So 11 is the youngest actually. So, and I do have presentations that I use for our young Black guys with being careful, how to watch yourself. It would be easily interchangeable. So we could do something like that. And that could be something that, I can leave with you guys also, that you can share with your groups. It's really simple to pull up and walk through by yourself. You know what I mean? But we could definitely get together and create something. I would love to for the youth. As far as keeping yourself safe with contact, my first thing with that always, when I'm talking to any patient, and I've done AIDS testing a ton, I've done results giving, the first thing I've done preventive care. The first thing I say is to keep yourself safe. Self-love comes first. No matter what, you have to love yourself enough to say, no, you got to work on it. Nope, we can't do it. I need to know your status. If you don't, you will be talked into it. It doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. When you get behind closed doors, you are behind closed doors. Sometimes protection is not used because of being ashamed. You bring a condom out, now it's real.
Right.
Well, then you shouldn't be doing it. Best way to protect yourself when you're grown is be grown. Have sex, fine. Even if you're undetectable and if somebody's undetectable and you still want them to self-love. How much do you like yourself? And there's nothing, the stigmas that, this is why we need to sit in these groups with this research, because the stigmas that we place on sexual orientation in our community. We have a lot of men that are masculine that once they transition, they all of a sudden want to have sex with dudes, whatever. But, the places that you have to look are unsafe. Are they going to do it? Yeah, they're going to do it. Dudes are nasty. Yeah, they're going to do it. And not saying that you're nasty, but they're not going to consider you. They're going to be like, well, I'm safe. I'm Tom, and this is the safest place to go. No, you know, and we have a lot of guys that contract from these meetups, hookups.
Yeah.
You know, we got guys that they hook up in airport bathrooms, just like men that cruise. There's no difference.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to talk about it, because when you bring something out, the taboo's gone.
Yeah.
Gone. The thrill is gone, babe. You know what I'm saying? I mean, gone. But if we can't talk about it, just like vaginal hygiene, or like I like to call it, taking care of fat daddy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your preference, but we have to talk about it, or you're gonna have problems.
Right.
Nobody is gonna want to go to the playground. Swamp water in the playground. Read between the lines.
I haven't ate yet, and I'm
Dog water.
Well, you know what? I'm not responsible for your imagination, Chris. No, but seriously, everything that I'm talking about, everything that I'm about, everything that this is about, it comes down to self-love. There was a time where I hated myself a lot. I didn't care. Like, I could have died several times. I mean, I lived reckless. In college, reckless. Out of college, I was ready for it, whatever it was. Ran around with, man, I should have sent India the photo to put up. Me and my own boys, everybody had a gun. I had an AK. I was the smallest thing in the group, in the front. You know what I mean? And it was all because I hated myself. I was searching for the wrong person. You know what I mean? Doing whatever I could to fit in. Sometimes it comes down to being as simple as that. Whatever you can to fit in, where it comes to, okay, you see somebody and she calls you, you know, a little young dude, for example. This happened to a guy I talked to recently. Met a woman from our community, not anyone that we know, but a woman from our community. You know, she treated him like a king. You know, he ain't but early 20s. She called him king, and you know, my man. And I mean, just treating him like, you know, sucking his soul out. Y'all, that just, oh, this guy. Oh, he has HIV now. Because she convinced him to have unprotected sex. He wasn't with it for a while. And then when she finally got it, and he's living with it, and she's disappeared, and he's mad. And he has a hard time talking about it because he's ashamed. And he's hurt, and he's a masculine dude, and you know, there's that. And he got a tail, which, you know, download trans men, like, come on. You guys, come on. No need to be that way. You've had to hide all your life in some way. Be free.
That's such a wild
right?
Because it's like we already hear, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand if you're heterosexual as a trans man, but like, if you want to date a dude, who gives?
But that's you just said the magic word. If you are heterosexual as a trans man, do you know how many times people have been just ate me alive from our community because I've said I am heterosexual?
Right. Yeah.
You know
Well, because there's a safety here for that too, but that's a whole nother open. We'll have another conversation, another live with that, you know. But I mean, but I'm just saying, I don't. Do your thing. Be safe is all I care about. Do your thing. Be safe. Live a long life.
I really believe, you know, I am really a true believer in love is love. You know what I'm saying? Which is why, you know, I was in love with Jade for a long time, 6 years, but I realized also that's not for me, and that's all I needed to know.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not something that I would do again. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. In our community, we make so many things issues, and I don't quite know why. Like, everybody ain't gotta like you.
People don't like the idea of preferences in this community. Like, but the same people that don't like that have preferences. It's kind of wild. But like I said, a whole nother.
Yeah, that's another one we need to
on the kettle black.
But you know what? These are PD conversations right here. This literally could be a PD conversation where I'm asking you guys because usually I facilitate. So I'll ask a question and then you all basically just give your input and the data comes in. Well, what's your experience with this? Well, how often have you experienced this? What group do you usually? Oh, so these are the women. I get it. Yep, me too. Or somebody introduces something else. Then after so many groups, a huge study can be derived from that. But just from what's taken within, like, say, 3 PD meetings for your organization for different things, then that'll create like a 15-page ebook that has all kinds of cool information, quotes from y'all and pictures, and you know what I mean? It's interactive too. It's not like, you don't have to sit and just wah, wah, like the website. It is not like that. You read it, it sounds like I'm talking to you because that's how I type. And I want you to understand it. I don't care if you guys think I'm smart. Wrong side. I know I'm smart. I admit. So that I'm ADHD and I'm a tad on the spectrum. I know I'm smart, but I would much rather you know the information. You can walk away and say, that's why. Then you can call your homeboy and be like, man, you know why, blah, blah, blah. That's what I want. Mm-hmm. Well, look, go to the website. They got yours on there too. That's what I want.
Yeah. That's what having a community like so cool, just because like a lot of us that's going through finding who it is that we truly are. You lose so many people along the way that you lose that confidence in being yourself. Like, well, did I make the right decision? Well, maybe I shouldn't. Well, maybe I need to go back. And you don't feel safe. It actually helps to bring all of that back.
And when you lose that, that's when you fall for everything that gets you infected, gets you hurt, gets you beat up, gets you outcasted even more. You find out that's when you start to learn from those quotes that people post. Man, people only listen to you talk because they want to know your story to pick on you. Whole time you thinking people are genuine, but you don't know how to decipher because you're so hurt. Mm-hmm. I was there, and it doesn't feel good. And then you sit later and you think about it. You're like, wait a minute, man, they played me. Damn, like I was their joke.
Start putting little dots together like
that shit does not fit. That is not. Ain't nothing cool about that. And it doesn't feel good. And it will mess you up to a point where you might love yourself to death. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, damn, like you said, then you start moving different. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get it. See, this is why India, this is why they're breaking, gonna break it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We doing that.
All the conditioning, all the patterns, all the generational things. Yeah.
Yeah. And the things that you take the most are from your family. And that's what you accept from other people. My grandma and I had a conversation about this morning. My grandma and I were talking about this and, how, you will absolutely carry the trauma with you. And that's what you accept from everybody else. So what I would advise our community the most is sit back and look at what you take from people and then look at who treated you whatever way when you were growing up. How did the people closest to you treat you? Now, what you take from other people, that's where it came from. You normalized it in your own mind because they made you. Now break it. Man, and it's hard. But when you do it that first time, it's like shooting a gun. It feels good.
It's worth it.
Just bust off. But then comes learning how to set your boundaries. You don't want to build a brick wall and then you can't let in good, while trying to keep out the bad. You want a fence that's stable that, you can open the gate for the right people. But everybody can't see over it. What'd you say?
The house.
Yeah.
I've an analogy from a few times from a couple of people. Like, you got to build a house.
That's a therapy thing, man. You ride by. There's one analogy that the therapist gave me. And she said, you're going to have 3 houses. She was like, tell me which house you think has the person in it with the most flexible boundaries. She was like, one house, the yard is okay. It's kind of okay. She was like, but it has a big dumpster out front, full of trash, and they're cleaning out the house. Sometimes they put stuff in it, sometimes not. Sometimes other people ride by and mistakenly throw their, they don't even know other people throwing their stuff in at night. And then it was like, the other house was, well manicured, well kept, but not perfect, but good. You could tell people that lived there cared about it. And the third house was just pretty much a shithole. It's clear, your boundaries. You wear your boundaries. And I think we get caught up in social media because you see people's best days. That's why my videos are just raw from my garage. Sometimes my hair's cut, sometimes it ain't. Hell, I don't care. What y'all care about my hair being cut for? You know what I mean? Why y'all care? You gonna cut it? Hell, sometimes I don't want to cut my hair. I cut my own hair. Sometimes I don't want to cut it. And my hair ain't nappy, so I can let it grow. You see how long my beard got. My grandma is what made me cut it. She said, I sure wouldn't go to no doctor that looked like you.
Oh, snap. They would do some shit like that too.
That's exactly what she told me.
That's some
She
grandpa.
said,
Yeah.
ooh, you need to cut that. Ooh. Like it stunk. I was like, Grandma, it's soft and it smells good. She was like, well, it don't look like it. She said, you don't look like no doctor.
All right, Grandma.
Like I take EBT for exams and shit. Like, that's how she was talking to me. But you know what? You need that. You know, we need to be able to check each other like that in this community.
Yeah.
That's love. That's family.
Yeah.
You know, family isn't, you know, you have to put on this beautiful presentation. You know, we need to be able to sit down in these community co-design situations and know that there's trust, there's no exploitation. You ain't gonna hear about it coming back. You know what I mean? Like, you're sitting with people that you now know you're walking away. Hey, I might be able to talk to you if I need to. Oh, yeah, man.
Okay. All right. Well, we are over an hour now, and this was great. Again, I really do appreciate this app for real. Like, I'm waiting for it. Like, I'm trying to remember. Did you say the launch date or is it
the app that the website will be replacing the app for a while? The app may be next year because it's going to be. I'll be honest with you, it's $450,000, and I got swindled out of 30,000. Okay. Yeah, it's from a.
Yep, that's fine. It's fine. It's
black.
We don't have to go there. We don't have to go there. We don't have to go there. It's fine. We understand.
Yeah. I was just gonna vent, but then I thought about where I was at. We in front of cup. Look, thought about where I was at real quick.
Yeah.
As I take the shirt off, I'm gonna call one of y'all.
It's okay. We're here for it, right? We're brothers, right? You can call and
man.
like, hey man, this is what happened. You know, you
know what? I need to be one of those people that does that because I'm a Leo. I'm a true Leo where I isolate when things get deep for me. I isolate and I really need time to hunker down and sift through it. And that's not always the best way, but it's also because, you know, people look for people like me that have problems, you know, because people think my life's perfect because they're stupid.
Yeah, everybody has their own things, right?
Man, look,
listen, like you don't know.
Everybody's life is a wreck. We just getting through this shit,
right? Because you don't know the person you think is on top can be homeless tomorrow, but you got this perception of them. You know, you don't know what other people are going through because again, we can get into this. It's gonna be another topic for another day, but like we get into it, like we don't want to show the world our issues because we don't want them to hold it against us, right?
Yeah, man, I've been homeless and working.
You know, and for some reason, Black people in general, to speak on the topics we already talked about, because we were saying it, is we showboat the positive, right? Something about the Black community where that's
what goes on in this house stays in this house. It starts with that phrase.
Because we don't have
that toxic shit there.
We don't have space for us to not be good.
Mm-hmm.
There's no room for that in the Black community to be like. There's no safe space for us to be fucked up.
But even amongst ourselves, though, we do it to each other. Like, rather, it's like I got to look better than, like, my life ain't as fucked up as yours.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm Black, but I ain't your kind of Black.
Well, it goes back to even, like, talking about the healing. And, you know, India, I know you, like, we on, you know what I mean, with that. But it goes back to the healing, like, when you're unhealed, you can't hold space for other people's vulnerabilities without using them against them, because instead of using their or listening to their vulnerabilities or creating space for that because you genuinely want to be there or support or open a container for a person and hold that space for that person, you are now looking at them like food. You either gonna eat them or you looking at them like, well, this is a way to make myself feel better. And that is a lot of what is happening in the Black community as a whole, but especially as you niche down into the Black LGBTQ, to the trans community, and so on and so forth. So yeah, like people are not comfortable. We just don't trust each other because of that. Like we always on something. And
Jim Crow.
I understand
comparison.
Look, hey, that break it down, break them, divide and conquer. Work like a charm. Work like a charm, boy. Yeah. And now, you know, between chemical warfare, you know, China brought opioids and crack and all that, fentanyl, and musical warfare, which is emotional warfare against Black people. You know what I mean? You're conditioning people. I'm a bitch. I'm a hoe. I'm a bitch. I'm a hoe. I'm a bitch. I'm a hoe. I'm a bitch. I'm a hoe.
Now you got him
Yes. You know,
You got Queen Latifah
that's
like,
basically what.
call me that one more time.
Back in the day, it was UNIT. What you know what I'm saying? The brothers
Right.
was still strong, and now it's drug. Molly pill, Percocet. Molly pill, Percocet.
Yeah.
To a nation, to a race of people that has been proven biologically to be the strongest walking the earth. Argue with me, somebody, please. I'm a doctor, please. I'd be willing to flex on that one. Now, this is where I want to sound smart.
Well, you ain't gonna get no argument here.
No, that's
No, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about y'all.
You're the wrong table for that one.
I messed up, thought we was on live in the chat. I was like,
No, not yet. I was trying to get us there, and then we went on a tangent.
I messed up. Look, you know, I was messed up. Thought we was in the chat. Look, fingers red.
Listen.
Red.
But for real, so honestly, again, thank you.
Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me and Carter Woodson.
Hey, listen, when we was talking a second ago, I wanted to bring that book up. That's
don't mess with us. Don't mess with this.
That right there.
Now, mind you, you dog. But
listen, if I was to start a book club, that would be definitely one of the top books that we're gonna go.
That's my man.
And I'm just being real, but topic for another day.
Right.
Okay, so I got the list. I just got a message from one of the guys that's on one of the programs, the muscle building program, and he was like, "Okay, so my drink tastes so much better with the lime juice." He was like, "And I'm half Mexican, so I love me some limes." What you get with this training is, I'm so proud of myself because I really tried my best to put myself in my brother's shoes and give them every possible thing they would need and take care of them. I'm talking like your vitamins, the proper protein to drink, collagen. Do not drink protein powder. It is made of soy. Soy increases estrogen. So does placebo that they put in protein powder in this cold process. I don't care what the company's name is. Collagen peptides would be the protein you would need to drink, along with BCAAs. That's going to help your electrolytes. If your electrolytes are low, that will mess with your cortisol, which will mess with your hormones. First hormone is going to attack is T. You know why? Because estrogen's always been there. And she's a stubborn bitch that won't leave until you push her out. But you have to know the right ways to do that effectively. Otherwise, there will always be a battle, like G.I. Joe. And knowing is half the battle.
Now, for the
y'all, I'm old. None of y'all got that. You got kids?
No.
Your kids don't know about G.I. Joe?
No.
Look at here.
No,
I wanted to be He-Man back in the day. If you know who He-Man is,
yeah.
I've heard. Look, I'm a baby of this conversation, of this panel right now. I'm the baby. So
let's Google He-Man. He-Man was Skeletor was even jacked, and he didn't even have no face.
Yeah, that was 5 a.m. Saturday morning.
Bruh.
Ready.
Waiting on cereal. Mama mad as hell because we awake. Why are y'all up?
Big old butter bowl.
Okay. I had to make it. Look, we all got a spoon sitting there. Everybody just digging in. In front of the floor model, bro.
The same bowl?
Oh, look at here, Chauncey. My mother made me wash dishes. And I didn't want to. Yeah, we had the punch bowl. And I just poured the whole box of cereal in. I did that about 3 times before I got my ass whooped enough where I stopped and I made separate bowls.
You just been a problem solver, G. That's all it is.
That's what I told my mom. I was ingenuous from the day. Stepped out ready for a plan. Now, I'm gonna tell you how much I love this book. Look, that's when you know it's love. Carter Woodson, he was on it.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to talk about more of this.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Yes. All right. So for those who want, is it still open for more people to join the six the programs?
What you do is keep an eye out. Subscribe to the website. I'm going to start this week sending out. Yes, keep an eye out on the IG and Facebook is just regular Dr. Liam. The one with no shirt is the one that I only accept trans guys. Please, I know a lot of ladies that have been very upset, but I only accept trans fellas on that page because we talk about, guy stuff and it's the stuff we post and stuff, and people, it's just not a space for the ladies. So the girls that have been upset with me, like hopping in the DMs, like, you must have something against trans women. I don't. That page is, and then the other page is where my family is. And I don't post anything on that page that's going to offend my mother, my grandma, or Miss Isley, who is my mom's best friend, Miss Kathy. So if I don't accept your friendship request on that page, I've had some people comment some ignorant shit before, and I've had to correct them because Miss Isley was like, "Oh, in the name of Jesus." Yeah, so I grew up in a very religious, small area, so I have to be careful. And then my colleagues, they all know I'm funny, but they don't know I'm black. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But so yeah, y'all, it's been great. I've enjoyed myself. I hope that everything we talked about is still directly related. It's all related to Hello Me. Everything we talked about will be talked about in the forums on the website. There'll be focuses of blogs and vlogs, the virtual events that'll be happening. Everything is about to ramp up because, like I said, I got some funding. So once they drop that in my account, once I get my FEMA check, I'm gonna go ahead and do something big when I get my FEMA check. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I had an uncle that was saying that forever. Sorry, he every time he borrowed money from everybody, that's the thing he said, babe. Once I get that FEMA check. He finally got it. When he did. He got it. And ain't nobody heard from him.
I bet.
Dead serious.
Serious.
He owed me $30.
He was standing on business.
Okay. He's standing on the FEMA check. That's what he's standing on. He's standing on his porch somewhere. I want my damn $30.
Not $30 though.
All right, sir. Thank you again. We appreciate you and all the work you're doing. You know we're here for you. Anything you need, we definitely gonna be working together in the future. This is a partnership. This is a brothership. I like the word.
I like that.
We're gonna have that. We're a brothership right here, right?
I agree.
We're supporting each other, everybody here. So again, thank everybody who tuned in and watched us tonight, took in information. Hopefully you learned something good. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything, feel free. Dr. Liam's IG's right there. You can hop in our DMs anytime, email, message, all that. We'll get the message to him and to you, get the connections wherever that's needed. Other than that, I hope everybody has a good evening. Yes.
Sorry, the email, if they have any, if anybody wants to email me any questions or anything like that's too personal to reach out in the DM or anything, the email is gethellome@gmail.com. And I'm the only one that checks it. So if there's anything at all, and you can email me anonymously, I don't care. If you email me with something hateful, I'm gonna figure out who you are. And I'm gonna call you out. I might fly to your city. I am petty. Like that Petty LaBelle, I'm trying to tell you, and I have anger issues still. See, face your shadow. Be honest. I still have anger issues. Yes, I grew up in the fight era. Sure did. People say, "Oh God, that's so violent." I know, right? Why you say it? Yeah. Like that's my thing. That's totally. You just say anything to me, and I'll just be like, "I'm better than that." Yo, eyeball me. But yes, that is the email. That is the. Gmail, anything. I'm always here. I don't have a problem answering. My number, my business line is in my signature of the email. You can even text. It'll be a 24-hour response. Usually it's quicker because I'm by my phone working and I keep it near me all day. If not, I'll see you within 24 hours. I appreciate y'all, man. I love what y'all do too, man. I really do. And I appreciate each one of you. I know each one of you. I think well enough to be able to say I appreciate you. And I look forward to the work we're going to do. And Dr. Liam is out. This is where I wish I could just disappear. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, be gone. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I got to work on that. Hold on. Let me try one more time. And Dr. Liam out.
There he is. He's out. Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a good night.
All right, later, y'all.
Peace, y'all.